Theo Dorsey here at 1000 North, joined by Luke Donald, who is a partner here at 1000 North. Also coming up on your second term as captain for Team Europe from the Ryder Cup, coming off a Ryder Cup championship, and getting ready to watch a great Cognizant Classic of the Palm Beaches. First and foremost, can we get a cheers to that?
Cheers, yeah.
This right here, the drink we have in our hand, this is a Luke Donald special. Can you explain this to us?
This is a special. As a partner here at 1000 North, they were very kind to commemorate the win at the Ryder Cup with giving me, a drink. And, we call this the perfect Luke's cocktail, I think it is. So a little play on words with the golf, but a little bit of a tip of the cap to obviously Rome, where the Ryder Cup was, in Italy. So Negroni, very famous cocktail, Italian, and has a little bit of a UK influence of where I'm from with the London dry gin as well. So, yeah. And whoever comes in here, you got to try it.
And I also hear it has a bit of Palm Beach County flavor in it with the vermouth that they put inside of it. So it's got kind of all three prongs.
Multi-global.
Yeah.
You see, multi-global, just like me as a player.
I'll give it a quick sip here, though.
Yeah. Cheers.
Yeah. It's really good. The orange bitter also really good.
Nice just to sip on slowly.
Yeah, great
Enjoy
touch.
a little cocktail before dinner.
Now, my question to you is, I know this is to celebrate your Ryder Cup championship. You didn't wait too long afterwards to also take that second term. You talked about how much of a time commitment being the Ryder Cup champion or captain is for you personally. How much does it mean to you to be the second serving person for Team Europe, the first person to do that in 2 decades?
Yeah, it hasn't happened obviously for a long time. Very fortunate to have the opportunity a couple of years ago, well last year I suppose, in Rome, and it was literally the best experience I've had on a golf course. So, that's saying a lot. I've had a decent career individually, but to share that victory and to work on something for a whole year and give my teammates the best opportunity to thrive and to play for something more than themselves. For me, that was the best opportunity. And when they wanted me to kind of come back and do a second term, how could I say no? So great honor, very, very humbled to obviously be given that chance again.
What do you think it was about your leadership and the way that you guys performed that had people, yelling 2 more years before you even got back from riding the high?
You'll have to ask the 12 guys that played. But I spent a long time working on a plan to give my guys the best opportunity for success, creating a purpose, creating a very much a team where there wasn't really much hierarchy. Everyone had a voice, everyone felt like they belonged. And I think that's, what you're trying to do as a leader, because that's intuitively, that's what we all thrive. It's why family's important, why being a part of something, an environment or a collective where you feel like you can thrive, and that's all I try to do and create within the Ryder Cup.
So what does the work look like, and when does it start here for building out your roster, coming up with strategy points? I know 2025 still more than a calendar year away now, but I know I'm assuming work starts soon.
The work has already started, really. I mean, I've had a few Zoom calls already with the team. I'm starting to think about possible vice captains. Already announced. Eduardo Molinari, who was kind of my stats guru, he does all the kind of planning in terms of statistics and checking in on the players and how they're performing. Had some conversations about the clothing. We've got 6 or 7 months until qualification starts, so still having thoughts about that, having thoughts about how do we perform in a tougher environment in New York, and manage a tougher crowd, more hostile crowd. We had the crowd on our side in Rome, so this time they're going to be mostly pro-US. So, just those conversations have already started, and it's nice to have a little extra time to try to figure some of that stuff out.
Speaking of pro-US, as a guy that is well known to be friends with Michael Jordan here, I got to ask you some insider info. When the Ryder Cup comes around, I know he's your pal. Who's he rooting for? Has he told you?
No, he's always rooting for the US.
Yeah.
Michael. I mean, he's ultra competitive. He obviously wishes me well and hopes that I have a good captaincy. But he'll be supportive of Team US, and he'll want them to win, especially after what happened in Rome.
Of course, of course. How much of other sports consume you when you're not on the golf course? Like, what are you fans of and kind of watching your spare time?
You know, I'm excited for this Netflix, the Golf, the Full Swing episode. Season 2 is coming out in March. We have 2 episodes all about the Ryder Cup. So I've been watching some of that stuff. They had one on rugby, they had one on Formula One, they've had, all kinds of different ones. But even just on the weekends, I'll watch some NFL, I'll watch a little basketball.
Yeah.
Obviously, I love football, soccer, you guys would call it. Watch a bunch of that in the mornings on Saturdays too, because we have such access to it over here. So I watch a little bit of everything, really.
Okay, so I have a cross-sport and also cross-racial comparison for your legacy and career. I want to know if you're game for it.
Yeah, let me hear it.
Okay, I don't know how familiar you are with basketball in the NBA, but Luke Donald in golf.
I think I know who you're going to say. I'm guessing you're going to say Steve Kerr.
What? No.
No?
No. Are you saying that
Big
because
forehead.
of the? Yeah, no.
I was decent at three-point shooting.
Yeah.
And now he's become a great coach. Great captain. Great
That
leader.
is a good call.
No?
That is a great
Okay.
call, actually. I was going to go with Carmelo Anthony.
Okay. Oh.
Are you liking that?
I don't know much about Carmelo. I mean,
Okay.
I know he's a great basketball player. I don't know, what he did in basketball.
Well, let me
or whether
give
he
it.
succeed. You tell me.
Let me give it to you. Let me give it
Where's,
to you.
Where's
Okay.
this comparison going?
So you,
I'm
1999.
certainly not as tall as Carmelo. I know that.
Well, look. You, 1999 in college. What did you win?
I won an NCAA.
NCAA championship.
Yeah.
Carmelo also has the NCAA
Okay.
championship.
I like that.
You can't talk Luke Donald in golf without bringing up your international accomplishments with the Ryder Cup. 4 for 4, undefeated. Plus, you're doing your second captaincy with the Europe, and you won as a
He must
captain.
have won some.
Carmelo,
Olympics.
he's synonymous with gold medals in Team USA.
There you go.
And on top of that as well, a guy that you can't talk about the game of basketball in the past couple of decades without mentioning Carmelo Anthony's name. Same thing here for Luke Donald. I thought it was a great comparison. Look, ask MJ what he thinks about that one. He'll love it.
I'll ask him. I appreciate that. Anyone who's successful as Carmelo, I'll take that.
And Steve Kerr. We'll
And
do Steve
Steve
Kerr
Kerr.
too. Well, I got
I
you.
was just
Steve.
going with the whole captain, leader,
I like it.
taking on a
Similar
different role.
hairdo. Sometimes Steve Kerr rocking some. Yeah, we can do Steve Kerr too.
Slightly, slightly more my size too.
Yeah. Are you good from the corner? What's your best spot in basketball? Do you play at all?
I played up until I was like 13 or 14. I was, like Steve, a bit more of a three-point shooter. I didn't have much inside game.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You live out there. It's safer out there. You don't mess up your
Absolutely.
knees. Let's get back to the game of golf. Everybody's excited about the launch. It feels like a new, reinvigorated Cognizant Classic of the Palm Beaches that's coming up here. You've been in Jupiter for a long time now, more than a couple decades. You also have played 15 plus times in the previously named Honda Classic.
Sure.
How important is that tournament to this area, and how important is it the names and the draw that they're getting this year?
It's extremely important. This is a great place, obviously, for a lot of professional golfers. It's a melting pot for guys that play on the PGA Tour. There's many people here that come for the great golf, the great weather. It's easy to travel to for a lot of the tournaments we play on the PGA Tour. But it's always, I think, you have an event like the Cognizant Classic. It's signed on for a number of years now, back at PGA National, a very iconic golf course. It brings in a lot of sponsorship, a lot of dollars for the local community. Obviously, Jack Nicklaus is involved with the children's charity as well, and they benefit immensely from the amount of attention and having an event here. So it really does help the local community and raise awareness and raise money for charities that are very needed, and obviously helps to have some great names. This year we have Ricky. This year we have Rory. I think 6 of the 12 people actually who played on my Ryder Cup team in Rome for Europe are playing. So you're going to see some good names, some very known names, and usually it's pretty rowdy out there. You get a lot of good crowd, a lot of young people coming to support, and it's always a fun atmosphere.
Now, you didn't win yours at PGA National, but you did win the previously named Honda Classic back in '06. Not to be confused with Luke McDonald, the 2016 Honda Classic champion. Yeah. But you, what do you remember from that '06 year? And again, for those that don't remember, that's a callback to your name.
2006.
I
ended up winning that one by 5 shots. Kind of going. My nearest competitor was Billy Mayfair. It was across the street at Mirasol. I've had a couple opportunities to win at PGA National. I think finished second once or twice. I just remember it being a great week. I had some friends from England actually flying in that week after I'd planned a week off, and to win and then have some friends in town to celebrate was a perfect ending for what was an amazing win, my second PGA Tour win.
Right, that's what I was going to say. That had to feel so much different back then because that was, before a lot of the now career success that you have. When you think about how you celebrated stuff like the Ryder Cup championship, how much different was that celebration to the post-06 Honda Classic celebration?
Well, the Ryder Cup, I decided not to book any tournaments for the rest of the year after the Ryder Cup, just in case we won, so I could really celebrate. But I think the older I get, the more I appreciate these sort of moments, and I try to enjoy them as much as possible. Because I think when you're at the peak of your career and you win, it's always what's next. You go on to the next week and you have another chance. So it's hard to celebrate those victories sometimes. But the Ryder Cup, I certainly did.
When does that kind of start to set in for a guy like you that has seen so many different wins and so many peaks in his career and has had the spotlight on them as a former #1 golfer in the world? Like, when do you start to get that introspection and start to feel like, hey, let me be more enjoying in the present versus trying to be, as everybody is, super duper that catch-22 of being
Well, I think the older I've got, the more I've realized you have to enjoy that journey because, in golf, anyone who's tried to play golf, even professionals at the highest level, there's always room for improvement. You can never get to the top where you've mastered everything. And that's the same in any sport, in any job, really. There's always improvement. That's why you have to enjoy the journey because there is really no end because you always have that opportunity to get better.
Well, we're going to look forward to seeing you in your next few tournaments. We'll both enjoy the Cognizant Classic this year as spectators. A cheers, the Parfect Negroni, a special here, and they can get it at 1000 North.
Absolutely, yeah.
Amazing.
Come grab one.
Thank you so much to Luke Donald. I appreciate you, a partner here at 1000 North. I'm Theo Dorsey with ESPN West Palm Play, and we'll be seeing you in that Ryder Cup soon.
See you soon.
Yep.